Okay.
But
All of you have slides. Okay. Any one of you have slides and tell me vertical integration. Select the slide and explain to me.
let's try to explain this.
Vertical integration.
It's developing the ability to produce goods or service previously purchased.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted you to show this slide actually. Okay. This slide. Okay. So all of you have the slides with you. That's why I asked you to show me the slides in which. So what do you mean by, okay, Yu Hong, explain to me vertical integration.
So the integration may be forward towards the customer or backward towards suppliers.
Exactly.
And
okay.
you can improve cost, quality, and inventory, but requires capital, managerial skills, and demand.
So this is called vertical integration. For horizontal is actually mergers, okay, mergers. When you integrate means you join up, okay. So if you read here, Pepsi Cola, if they do their own bottling and also they do their own selling, so it is forward or backward integration. Yule?
Yes.
Whether it is forward integration or backward integration.
Forward.
Forward. Bottling for Pepsi is forward integration.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Is it right, Yule? Forward integration. So you cannot see this yet. Okay. Backward integration is from the manufacturer going down their supply chain towards raw material. For example, International Paper here, making papers, when they are involved in pulp making or having their own tree farm, that is backward integration. Okay, and forward is end user paper conversion. So you can see initially, they don't. For example, Apple, they don't. Some companies they allow others to actually retail their products. Apple retail store is forward integration, and if they make their own chips, their own microchips, they are actually backward integration. Okay, so it's very, very, very. It is one of the method in which sourcing is being done by companies. So you can have many suppliers. You can have vertical integration, and you can have joint ventures. Okay, joint ventures between big companies like, for example, Nissan and Renault, or Peugeot, big companies, BMW and Daimler, or even Geely and Volvo. Okay, those are joint. They have formal collaboration. This was actually, reduce cost, secure supply, and so on. So you can read about this. And you notice today, when joint ventures or they buy a new company, they don't change the brand. They don't, impose their own brand. Geely did not change Proton brand. They own Proton, but they didn't change the brand. They let the brand be as it is. Okay. Right. And another one is Keiretsu. Okay. Right. Okay. So I'm just trying to show you that there are, these 6 sourcing strategies employed by companies, but not all companies do it. For example, Keiretsu. What is Keiretsu? You have learned about Keiretsu before. Have you? Yeah, what is Keiretsu? It's very Japanese, okay?
Yes. The supplier becomes part of the company.
Shareholders. Yeah, okay. So like Toyota,
Yes.
they have a Denso, they have you can do, you know, a small study to find, you know, the network of Keiretsu. What is it called in Korea? Do you know what is it called in Korea? Similar to Keiretsu. Have you heard of Chaebol? Chaebol. 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 So it's also similar to Keiretsu networks. And another way is the virtual companies. Okay, virtual companies, I think it's very virtual companies, they don't make any product actually. They do a lot of outsourcing and assembly. They just pick whatever components and they outsource their manufacturing and they do their sales basically. The good book gives example of Vizio Incorporated, a California-based producer of flat screen TVs. So they put their brand, but it is actually components from different combination of brands. Okay, so you have, and I think today there's a lot of virtual companies, especially in you know, this internet e-based companies. Okay, virtual companies. For example, Lazada doesn't make any product, but they are very, you know, they have a platform for companies to actually sell their products. Okay, it's virtual companies. Okay, any questions? Any questions? 6 sourcing strategies and the importance of supply chain management. Okay. Let me give you 5 minutes to Google Mitsubishi Keiretsu and Toyota Keiretsu. And 5 minutes. Google, okay, sorry. You haven't read it, okay. Google, please Google Mitsubishi Keiretsu or Toyota Keiretsu and save that and share with me after 5 minutes. Wakarimasu ka? Dare ga wakaranai? Please Google and share with me in your own screen. But of course, you need computer. Those who don't have computer will have to let someone else do it. Okay, 5 minutes starts just now. Okay, starts now. Look for images and diagrams. Okay, don't look for words. Look for images and diagrams showing the keiretsu. Okay.
Excuse me. I
Yes.
just find some
The
paragraph,
some
but
diagrams, some
it's,
pictures. Yeah.
yeah, some picture, but it's in Japanese. Is it okay?
Dajobu yo.
Okay.
Okay, you have found one?
But not all of them, but
Some, okay.
some of, yeah.
You have 30 more seconds to go. So I'll let everyone, you just show whatever you have found and explain to me. Even the words in Japanese, you just explain to me. Because I'm giving all of you the, you can all share screen, okay? All of you can share screen. So you can just, whoever wants to share and show to the rest. Okay, time's up. So you want to, just any one of you want to share what you have found to the rest of the people. While some of you still finding Yu Hong, trying to find. Okay, who has found? Please share. I can, you know, just say loud and say, okay, I want to share. Okay, let's get one of you or one or two of you to share, please. Volunteer. Whatever it is in the internet screen, don't need to pay, and just click on it, and it's Google. Just Google and show.
Okay, I'm going to share
Okay,
one of
Ho.
this.
Thank you, Ho. Yes, please.
Hold on. That's it.
You're using a computer.
Just more. Yes.
You should open your video for the computer. If not, the video will be able to see.
Hold on.
The Zoom must open the video as well. Or maybe someone else whoever. Okay.
You see this?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Just explain to me or explain to the rest of the people very briefly. Yeah.
They like the Mitsubishi Chemical. They have the Mitsubishi Chemical HT or Mitsubishi Gas Chemical, and they are all in the
Same, but this is Keiretsu or their Sogo Sosha? Keiretsu.
maybe it's the network, Mitsubishi network or
Yeah,
something.
Mitsubishi Network. Okay.
Yeah.
This is only thing that you found. Okay.
Yeah, the diagram is only find this diagram.
Okay. Right. Anyone else want to share? Can you close that and let someone share? Anyone has anything else to share? Not the same one, different one. Different. If you have a different, can you share?
Okay, can I share the Toyota's K-Late system?
Yes.
This is what I found.
Okay.
But like,
ちょっと説明してください。
but I don't understand the percentage represent for what.
So what do you think? Just give a wild guess.
Maybe
Shares of the company.
I say shares of the Toyota company owned.
Yeah. Probably how much they own. For example, Toyota owns 22.25% of IC, maybe. Or they may be Toyota Boshoku is actually making seats. Toyota Boshoku Corporation. Okay. Toyota Koki Automotive. So this is Keiretsu. This is Keiretsu. There is a counter own. Okay, they own this, and Denso Toyota owns 24.77% of Denso. Okay. Anyone else found probably? But this is which year? Maybe it's a bit date of publication for this is maybe you want to go on the top and see the dates. The top. Toyota Gose. Okay. Never mind. Anyone else find something else, or so that's Fang Yi, okay. Thank you, Fang Yi. Yes, anyone else that likes to, just anything that you find interesting. Yule, anything?
I found the Tencent too, and I'm trying to find a new one to share.
Yu Hong, you find anything else? But you have an idea, huh? You find anything?
I found a paragraph is similar to host.
Host, okay. Yuki, you found anything?
I found Toyota like the same with Fang Yi.
Same with Fang Yi, okay. Right. Okay, never mind, you find. Okay. Right. Okay, thank you for for trying to search for me. Okay, so if you can search for more of those Keiretsu, right? Okay. So that is one of the ways in which sourcing is being done by companies, or the way that suppliers are being managed. There are, I forgot to mention, there's now tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, okay? So for example, if Toyota is the manufacturer, they have a tier 1 suppliers. For example, the big suppliers supplying the main components, for example, engine. Engine is tier 1 suppliers. But to make the engine, you need sub-components, which is supplied by tier 2, T-I-E-R, okay? Tier, T-I-E-R, tier 2 suppliers. Then you go to tier 3 suppliers. So this is, a very important concept in what you call supply chain. Okay. Let me just go back to, okay. Right. Okay, I have a small quiz for you. Can you see the question there?
Yes.
Okay, let me just. Oh, you cannot see. Okay, let me just launch the poll. Okay, I'm going to send a poll. Can you see the question?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay, can you think about it and a fried chicken fast food chain that acquired feed mills and poultry farms has performed which of the following? A, horizontal, B, forward, C, backward, D, current transformation, E, job expansion. I expect all of you to get the right answer. A fried chicken fast food chain acquired means they actually bought over. They have shares in the company. Okay, 2% have answered. It's a bit tricky, not a bit tricky, but it's what I've explained earlier, okay, about forward integration and backward integration. Okay. So one more response. I have 4 responses. Have you given, Yule? Have you answered? Fang Yi? Yuki? Not yet, Yuki. Oh, have you answered?
Yes,
Yes.
I did.
Okay, Yuki, you have not answered. Okay, just pick the answer. It's okay. So you have, I know what you answered, Yuki. Okay, but that is not the right answer. Okay. Okay. It is, what's the answer, Yule?
I choose the forward.
You choose the forward. Why you choose the forward?
It's just like the farmer things, like before you selling these things to customers.
Okay. What did you choose for?
Wait.
Okay, think about it. Okay, you are Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now you are, trying to integrate vertically. So when we say backwards, it is where? Towards who? Down or up? Up means
Up.
forward. Up means forward.
Hmm?
Okay, sorry. It's towards raw material or towards the customer. That's two ends only. There's one end. There's
Material.
towards the raw
Material.
material. Raw material.
Material.
So when you say
Material.
raw material, is it forward or backward?
Backward.
Backward.
Backwards. Okay, it is
Yes.
backwards because anything towards the raw material is called backwards. Anything towards the customer is called
Forward.
forward. Okay.
Forward.
Okay. It's okay. Don't worry. At least you learn something. When you. Okay, I got another question actually. Right. Where's the question? Okay, just answer the first, because when I make this, there's two. The second is not a question, okay? The only one is the first question. When Daimler and BMW pool resources to standardize auto equipments, the sourcing strategy could best be described by which of the following? Is it Keiretsu? Is it virtual companies? Is it joint venture? Is it vertical integration? Is it few suppliers? Go back to your slides. There's slides on the different, which I showed you just now. There is many suppliers, few suppliers. When Daimler and BMW, which are two different companies, what do they do? This is a two different companies. They pool their resources. Which one is the best description of, it's not Keiretsu, okay? If you put Keiretsu, then you're going to, So I got one response, okay, correct answer. So the first one who gave me the answer is correct answer. So he or she knows. The second person is also correct answer. Okay. 2 out of 2. Three more to go. Okay, the third person is also correct answer. That means 2 more person. Four person, okay. Oh, all of you got the right answer. I'm very, impressed. So it's a joint venture, right? Okay, so at least at least you're learning. You're learning the hard way, okay? I know it's learning the hard way by answering these questions. Okay, good. Thank you very much. All of you did well. Okay. Now, any questions about things which I have explained about the strategic importance, the coordination, the competitive advantage that the company focus upon. and the sourcing strategies. Okay. Now, let me then continue with another important thing in supply chain management, which is actually risk. Okay, I'm not going to show this. It's okay. Risk, supply chain risk and mitigation. So supply chain, like what we are seeing today, okay, like what we are seeing today because of the globalization of business, where companies in manufacturing in China get their components and so on. So very high risk. Not to say China is high risk, but you know, when you venture in far away places, okay, so it will result into logistical complexity. What do you mean by logistical complexity? What is logistics? Okay, Fang Yi, you mentioned logistics. Okay, logistics is shipping, sending the parts. Logistic, you need forwarder, forwarding agent. So you need to actually get the components to the right port, shipping it. Complexity means, some of the components which need to be air transferred. You use FedEx, you use what do you call DHL to transport and to deliver small light components. Okay, so when there is strike, airline strike, then you have difficulty in getting the parts. You know what happened in the Suez Canal during this year? During this pandemic, Suez Canal, remember what happened in Suez Canal about 2 months or 3 months ago? Anyone know the story? There's a Suez Canal between, in Egypt that cuts across the Mediterranean and goes into the Red Sea. Anyone remember? There was a ship which actually blocked the canal, right? Suez Canal. The ship stuck in the canal. So ships cannot pass through. Okay. You can Google that. Okay. But that is affecting the delivery of materials, components, and so on. So there's a lot of supply chain risks. And also, of course, reliability and quality of suppliers is critical to operation. That is also a risk that you need to actually consider when you source from many suppliers. Okay, so fast delivery, low inventory, supply chain, all this result from trying to be competitive. Okay, JIT, just in time, very low inventory supply chain, and you operate across political and cultural boundaries. You add shipping time, logistic reliability, all add up to the risk. So we need to identify risks. Companies must identify risks. There must be a department who actually will be involved in trying to understand risks and also the mitigation. And what if A happens, what we do. Okay. So there's a lot of things about risk. Probably I just go through the some of the materials from the slide, just a little bit. Okay. So more reliance on supply chain means more risk. Fewer suppliers increase dependence. That means higher risk. And there are political and currency risks. So we need to have risk and mitigation tactics. You must research or you must study possible risks. You assess the risk, and you need things to you need plan A, plan B. So you have to have innovative planning to reduce potential disruptions. But because of COVID, the disruption is cannot do anything. Skataganai, okay, or even earthquake. Is there? Can you hear me clearly? No problem. Okay, so you want to reduce potential disruption and you prepare responses for negative events. Okay. Now let's look at some supply chain risks and tactics. Risk, supplier failure to delivery. So tactics, use multiple suppliers. And these are examples. Okay, McDonald's plan supply chain. So these are, your planning. Okay, what if it goes wrong? Okay, or supplier quality failure. Careful supplier selection. That means your supplier selection process must be very, very good. You select only the best suppliers, and you need to provide training, certification, monitoring, and so on. What else? There's a lot of logistic delays, multiple and redundant transportation modes. But in COVID, you cannot do anything because the ship is also not going, and the country is not accepting the ships. Lockdown. Okay, so what you can do? You cannot do anything. Distribution, careful selection, monitoring, and effective contracts with penalties. Okay, so distribution. Toyota trains dealers around the world using TPS. So that's the only company that actually works with dealers to improve customer service and so on. Okay. So different kinds of risks, and you need some risk reduction tactics. What else? Information loss or distortion. You need redundant database. Political risk. You know that now in Sudan is being taken over by another government. Even Malaysian investment is already being confiscated by Sudan government. Petronas is our petroleum company. I think China company also affected. If you read the papers, you see that just 1 or 2 days, political. Okay, this is political risk that company will have to deal with. Economic risk or natural catastrophes. Putting into a different region, regionalize the suppliers. So after the earthquake, Toyota have at least 2 suppliers, each in a different geographical region for each component, because of the earthquake resulted into cut off. So they have to stop production for many months. Theft, vandalism. So this is also part of the risk that companies face. So that's why they buy insurance and so on. Okay. Okay, you can read this. Now, any questions? That's the first thing. That means there are risks involved in your supplies. It's not there is no it's not as easy as trying to not making any there are risks involved. Okay, there are risks involved when you locate your suppliers in different parts of the world. Okay, especially today. Okay, it's a globalized economy. Okay, so just now earlier when I started to talk about having a supply chain coordination. Okay, so that's why companies must have a system in which it is actually an integrated supply chain. Integrated supply chain, independent organizations are involved from raw material to finished goods. So there are issues in managing integrated supply chain. How do you actually manage your suppliers so that it is seamless? You know, seamless, the word seamless. Seamless, S-E-A-M-L-E-S-S. Let's type here. Okay, seamless. Have you heard of word seamless? Okay, Yu Hong, what's seamless?
Seamless.
Seamless.
Is with no space between one part and the next.
Okay. There's no space between one part and another. So what do you mean? There's no space between one part and another. Give me an example. Anyone can help Yu Hong? Seamless means there is no space between one part and another part.
Like the like the big some big table, the wood they use to connect two part of a big wood, and they can make this they can make this
exactly
same as
joint.
one wood.
Yeah, same as one wood. Exactly. Okay. So when you want seamless, you want to make sure that the quantity that you are going to order will arrive on time, according to the quality. It will be immediately be used for the production. So it's seamless. So you don't want to have stoppages. Okay. So that's why these are the many things. Okay. If you look here, opportunities for effective supply chain management is accurate pool data. Exactly, you know, if you need 50, you will pull 50 or you deliver 50. And then lot size reduction. And lot size reduction means you try to reduce it so that your lot size becomes smaller. But today, because of COVID, there may be some changes, you know. I think people will not try to reduce lot size too much, because if you reduce it too much, when there is a big disruption, you will suffer. Okay, you will suffer. Yeah. Single stage replenishment system. Okay, so all these are actually the opportunity for having, for example, information flow will be important as well. That's why electronic order fund transfer. And then, for example, blanket orders. Can we allow blanket orders between one supplier and the manufacturer? What about shipping arrangement? So these are the activities and the things that actually being done by companies to make sure there is the seamless, effective supply chain management. Vendor managed inventory, VMI. Okay, VMI is, do you know what VMI is? Anyone can read from the textbook, okay, what VMI is? Vendor managed inventory. Yule, what's vendor managed inventory?
Well, use of the local supplier to maintain the inventory for the manufacturer.
So the vendor managed inventory is simply means the vendor keeps the inventory. Vendor managed. So they keep the inventory. When it is needed, they will actually supply. So it is the manufacturer doesn't keep the inventory. All the inventory are managed and kept by the vendor. Okay, vendor and supplier is the same thing. Okay, vendor and supplier is actually the same meaning. Okay, so that's why it's called vendor managed inventory. Okay, so these are things which are being done by companies to ensure integrated supply chain, collaborative planning, forecasting, and replenishment system throughout the supply chain. So that's why supply chain, it is actually not only between one tier and another tier, especially after COVID, because COVID has exposed the weakness of the current supply chain, because the information of the lower level suppliers are not being disclosed. Not disclosed, so you cannot control. When you do not control, you do not know where the parts come from. So this is, something that is important today. Actually, in post-pandemic, you will see a lot of changes where companies require. For example, if I buy from you, I want to know who you buy from. And the second level will, find out who you buy from, Do you know recently America requested chip manufacturers to disclose how much they produce, where they sell to. So American, because they face shortage. Before this, like Taiwan Semiconductor produces their own microchips, and they sell to their customers. But now America wants to have this database, which is trying to control the free market actually. But because of Corona, actually, because of COVID, and there is shortage. So these are things which are actually happening today, managing the integrated supply chain. Standardization means trying to have common components so that you can source easily same components. A postponement is also being used by companies. Postponement means, there is arrangement in which I do not want you to deliver the parts during this time and so on. Okay, drop shipping, directly buying from the customer. Right. So all these are actually things that being done to actually integrate the supply chain. Okay. Take a 5-minute break. You're tired, I think. It's 11 o'clock. Okay, take a coffee, 5 minutes, and I'll continue from there. Okay. Any questions, Yuli? No. Okay. So have a coffee, 5 minutes. Okay. Or drink something.
Okay.